Hey friends, welcome back to The Rogue Educator, where we talk about all things education, wellness, and story. Today is going to be a bit of a rant. We need to talk about the state of Michigan's new Read by Grade 3 law that goes into effect in May 2020. The idea behind this law is, neutral enough, I guess, in that we want to get the third graders reading on grade level or as close as possible because reading is the foundation of most of the rest of learning throughout the rest of your school career. So yes, reading is important, but this law comes with a retention clause. Therefore, if third graders are not reading on grade level or within a year of grade level, then they potentially will be retained in the third grade. I'm calling a whole load of bull on that, and we're going to talk about why. Okay, so like I said, the idea behind this law is to get kids reading at or slightly below third grade reading level. And this is all well and good. It has the potential to really enhance teacher instruction, and it has the potential to bring in more literacy coaches and literacy instructors into elementary schools. However, the implications of this law go much deeper than that and have the potential to wreak a lot of havoc in the lives of teachers, students, and parents. First of all is just an added layer of so much stress. There's stress for the teacher, whose job may or may not depend on the outcome of these tests. There's the stress for the teacher to work in all of this extra reading instruction and high-stakes testing all at the same time when the school day isn't getting any longer, nor should it get any longer, probably. And then there's the stress on students. I mean, there's so much riding on this law of potentially being held back in the third grade for not being able to read, quote unquote, on time. And just it baffles me that lawmakers and some educators and parents can't see I don't even know. I'm just so frustrated. I don't even have words. Just the implications behind this are just mind-boggling. So there's stress for the teacher. There's stress for parents at home who are needing their kid to read on time so that they can continue on to the fourth grade. There is stress on the student to do well on this one test so that they can move forward to the next grade with their friends. These kids are 7, 8, 9 years old. They have been together most likely for 3, 4 plus years. And now all of a sudden, because they aren't reading well, they're going to get held back altogether and not be able to move forward with their friends. That's a really, really big psychological deal when you are 8 and 9 years old. I think the biggest ironies of this whole thing are, one, the loss of actual classroom instruction time, where teachers could actually really be focused on teaching reading as the student needs to learn it, and in the ways the student will learn it best. They're losing that instruction time in favor of practicing for a reading test. Just what? And then the other thing is there's so much stress and pressure on students to learn how to read and to practice their reading that any love of reading has potentially just been ruined, like for life. Students in this position that are like right on the edge and by third grade, you know what retention means. And you know that if you don't do well on this test, that you could be retained. And so you're probably not going to do well on the test. And then, unless you have someone standing up for you and fighting for you, you may be held back. So you're going to look at reading as this like traumatic experience, probably for the rest of your life. And yeah, you may be able to actually read the words, but you're never going to pick up a book for fun. And as someone who loves reading, why would you ever want to do that to somebody, to like kill their love for reading and their love for learning in general? Can we please just recognize that students and teachers are human beings? We learn at different rates. And we usually do catch up to one another, especially when it comes to literacy and reading. My husband is a year older than I am, and he did not learn to read until the second grade. He had troubles with dyslexia and things like that, and he was blessed to have some extra reading instruction to bring him up to grade level, but things really didn't click for him until second grade. I, on the other hand, had a reading specialist for a mom and a general love of reading and stories, and I learned to read when I was probably 3. I don't even remember the process of it. But my husband has gone on to do wonderful things. He is an engineer, he is extremely bright, and he can read, and life goes on. And we are at the same level now as adults, and even though I was way ahead of him in second grade, that does not matter now. And if lawmakers and parents and educators could just rally around the fact that our kids that are in school are human beings and they need us to support them and encourage them instead of hammer this instruction at them in these tests, I think everything would just go so much more smoothly. An annual test that should be more of a check-in, a formative test, has become this high stakes, summative, make it or break it. You pass the test, you're great. You fail, you stick around in third grade. Frankly, it's gross. Do we not understand? Do we not recognize all of the other anxieties and pressures that our students are facing these days, from their peers, from the internet, from social media, from parents wanting them to succeed and, be ahead of everyone in sports and in school. And I just wish that we could chill out and let our kids, let our students learn to read. If they need extra help, great. But I wish we could make this a smooth, fun, maybe that's too strong of a word, process where children want to pick up books and they want to pursue learning. And I realize that reading is the basis of most other learning, and that's important. And we have to push it, and we have to give the kids the instruction they need. But let's take the pressure off. Please, can we take the pressure off our students and our teachers? I'll see you in my next video.